Come to me. What's up? Hello, everybody. Welcome to this live Q&A. It's been a while since I did the last one. I think about a month ago. Try and do one a month at least to keep it up. So yeah, this is the September live Q&A. I've got to get this done before October hits, which is very, very soon. So yeah, if you're new to this, ask me any questions you like. If it's too personal or if I can't answer it, I'll tell you. But most of you who come on here know the drill by now. So yeah, let's crack on. My favourite Johnny English sequel. Actually, the third one. Surprisingly, the third one I found a bit more enjoyable than the second one. How's things? Yeah, things are okay. My workplace has settled down a bit. I've actually been promoted recently, which is good. But I have a job interview on Saturday for a film teacher role. It's not a full-time job. It's like a Saturday job, but still, it's a film teacher, which is kind of nice. So hopefully that goes well. And if I get that, I won't be able to take my promotion at work. But if not, it's fine. I mean, I'm in my current job. I've been sort of promoted to supervisor, so I have a bit more authority. Slight pay rise, but not really that much. But I'll have more hours, so yeah, hopefully I will have a bit more money coming in. So yeah. Oh, sorry to hear that, Dinobot. Yeah, take it easy. Be kind to yourself this week. Don't worry if you can't stay on too long. You can just ask whatever you want, and I'll try my best. My highly anticipated film for 2026. Oh God, I need to look at what films are coming out in 2026. Probably Avengers, but I will double check. Yeah, currently it's probably Avengers. Yeah, not really looking forward to Toy Story 5. Oh God. Yeah, I'm gonna say Avengers Doomsday and Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'll say those ones. Are you a fan or major fan of the Batman franchise? I'm a fan. I like the movies. I've enjoyed watching them. I wouldn't say I'm a die-hard fan, but I can jam to them. I have heard about the recent Bond news in the sense of that Denis Villeneuve is gonna start searching next year, and that they want to cast an unknown, and they want that person to be like late 20s, early 30s. I've heard that, which I personally am okay with. I think that would be a good direction. I think having an unknown actually is quite nice. So there's no prerequisites about seeing them in another role previously and being able to kind of unsee them. They can just build a career from James Bond, which would be quite nice. I mean, Daniel Craig was relatively unknown. He'd done a few things, but he wasn't big. He wasn't big. I think Bond made him bigger. But yeah. What is your favourite sequel that came out shortly after the first entry? Probably The Empire Strikes Back. I did love Episode 4, but I think Empire Strikes Back takes it up to a whole new level. Hey, Doug. Any movies I'm reviewing for Halloween? Not sure. I will try. I'll try and review at least one horror movie for Halloween. I don't know about anything new that's coming out, but I might try and review a pre-existing horror film. So I'll do my best. Then a favourite sequel that comes out long time after the first entry. 10 to 20 years or more later. That's a difficult one. Avatar: The Way of Water is up there for me. I really like Avatar: The Way of Water. Looking forward to the third one. And that came out, the second one came out 13 years after the first one, so I'll go with that for now, Avatar: The Way of Water, but there could well be another one. I didn't know Jerry Goldsmith was offered to compose Spy Love Me. I'm sure he would have done a great job, though. What movie do you love watching more than once? Oh, there's loads. Harry Potter, I love watching more than once. Lord of the Rings, they're my favourite films of all time. Most of the James Bond movies, those are the ones I constantly get rewatched, and Star Wars as well. Those are the ones I watch a lot. Do you prefer Mufasa or the kingly Simba from The Lion King 2? I'm guessing you mean Mufasa in the first original animated movie. Um, I probably will say Mufasa. Just the voice. There's a lot more presence about him than Matthew Broderick's Simba. But still, I like both characters. Hello, Zane. What about the Bambi horror film? Oh, yeah, that's true. I could talk about that, but it would be a rant, probably. If you're talking about Bambi the Reckoning, I think that's the one that Ross talked about recently, and said very bad things about it. Actually, I'm going to try and review War of the Worlds very soon. Oh, God, wish me luck. Between these four movies, Jerry Goldsmith could have composed but did not. Which do you think would have been best? Could have composed but did not. I don't know. It's probably Beneath the Planet of the Apes, because he did the first one, and he probably would have reused a lot of the same motifs, but maybe come up with some good new ones. How would you improve Return of the Jedi? I think it's pretty great as it is. Maybe tone down the Ewoks. I think maybe make them less silly, because it's a little bit unbelievable how the teddy bears with rocks and sticks can beat the Empire. But yeah, aside that, I really love Return of the Jedi. So, I mean, any predictions for Avatar: Fire and Ash based on the trailers? I think it's going to be. Oh, it's going to offer a lot of similar things to the first two, but also a couple of new things. I think it's going to be the darkest one yet, potentially the most action-packed, based on the trailers. But I'm really looking forward to it. And it's going to be long. It's going to be a long film, but hopefully it'll be a great experience. What are your thoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog 4? Well, it hasn't come out yet, so I'm not really sure what you mean. Do you mean, like, what would I want to see in it, or have they announced the story? Like, if so, I don't know about the story yet. Based on the ending of the third one, I feel like maybe it could be the best one. The Sonic films have taken a while for me to kind of get on board with. The third one was the best one, and it was passable enough for me to enjoy it. So we're heading in the right direction with Sonic. So if the fourth is anything like the third or a bit better, I'll be satisfied. If Ricardo Montalban was a James Bond villain, which Bond actor do you think he would have been best paired with? Given the time he was alive, probably Roger Moore. Actually, I'll take it a rant on that movie, and I will explain the problems. Okay, fair enough. War of the Worlds 2025 is the worst I've seen this year. Oh, thank you for not recommending it to me. Oh, hey there, Trevor. Nice to see you. Favorite Michael Giacchino soundtrack? That's a tough question. He's done so many. I really love his music for Inside Out, the Pixar film. It's my favorite Pixar film. There's a beautiful score there. The Incredibles, Ratatouille is a really good score. But non-Pixar, War for the Planet of the Apes has a really beautiful score. I love that score. That is so deep and so moving. What's your opinion on Disney wanting to do more Toy Story films after Toy Story 5? That's it. We don't need any more. We don't. Would you support independent movie studios if they start to rise as more artists leave the big corporate empires of Disney, blah, blah, blah? Yeah, I'd support anyone who makes great content, to be honest. Maltesers or Crunchy Bars? Ooh, good question. I love both. I'll go with Maltesers. Dr. Freedom. Hello. Which movie is better, Food Fight or the Emoji Movie? It's like asking me, what do I prefer, grass or mud? The Emoji Movie by a small margin, because at least it's got better animation. Are you planning on reviewing the Kung Fu Panda films? Not anytime soon, I'm afraid. And I'm okay, thank you. Thank you for asking. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare you have to watch. Oh, thank God. Thank you for reminding me. oh, oh, Ross, I'm gonna need to borrow some pixie dust. Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. Oh fuck. How tall are you? I'm 6 foot. I'm 6'3". I'm very tall. I come from a very tall family, so unfortunately, that's if you stand next to me, I'm probably going to be taller than you. If Ben Kingsley was a Bond villain, which actor do you think he'd work best with? Any of them, to be honest. I don't think he would be bad with a specific actor. I actually think Ben Kingsley would be a great Blofeld, and I'm not saying that because he's bald. I generally do think he's a great actor. He could have been one of the. I mean, I don't know if he's still up for it or if he's too old, but in the future, Amazon could cast him as Blofeld. It's worth a go, isn't it? Oh, bless you. Playing Uncharted 2 to pause the game. Oh, that's kind of you. I'm glad that I'm more I'm more entertaining than Uncharted 2. But no, Uncharted 2, great game. Glad you're enjoying it. Really, it's so good. It's so good. Why did you delete your Space Pirates review? Yeah, I mean there was some controversy. There was basically to cut a long story short. I'm not going to name the person, but I was being trolled at the time, and someone used a clip from that review, and I kind of looked back on it and I thought it's a little bit cringy. So I might well unprivate it and release it now, or I might just re-edit that and just take out the sketch. But thank you for saying that. It's kind. The Batman and Robin is secretly enjoyably bad. In places, I mean, I could watch it and laugh at it, especially with Arnold Schwarzenegger. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Oh God, it's so bad. It's so bad. It is hilarious. It's like a pantomime, but I'd never take it seriously. But anyway, have a good day, Dinobot. Look after yourself. Hello, Jason. Nice to see you. What are your thoughts on Shrek 5? Well, again, the movie's not out yet, but the trailer that we saw was awful. Just awful. And I don't want a Shrek 5. I'm quite happy to have just the 4 movies as they are. But do you think Shrek 5 will be around? Quite possibly. I can't guarantee anything. It might surprise us. You never know. But after that trailer, it's going to take a lot of convincing to convince me that it will be a good movie. Most epic Darth Vader moment for you? When he kills the Emperor. I think that is the most epic moment for me. Other than that, potentially when we first see him in Revenge of the Sith, when the mask comes on him. I'm not talking about when he goes, no! Not that bit. Everything before that was great. But George had to ruin it with that stupid line. Thank you, George. Yes, I am. I am on IMDb. Yeah, I've got an IMDb credit because I did some work experience quite a number of years ago as a production assistant and / runner on a project. But I've also I've got a page, and for some reason my own films have been added on there. I never added them myself, but maybe IMDb saw my YouTube channel and thought, this guy's a filmmaker, let's put his credits on there. So that's nice. Have you ever tried wearing contact lenses? Yes. I wear contact lenses when I go on stage because I'm an Amdram actor. I perform in amateur theatre and I can't always wear my glasses. So I have to wear contacts then. But I hate wearing contacts on a daily basis. They're frustrating. Very frustrating. But it is what it is. If I want to do what I love, I have to do that. Which movie is better, Food Fight or Trolls? Trolls. But that's not much of a compliment. I recently purchased Bond movies from blah blah on DVD. Yeah, I would have encouraged you to purchase the 25 film set. Well, I don't know if there's a 25 film set. There's a 24 film set. Then you could have got No Time to Die. But as you've done it this way, you could buy the Daniel Craig collection. There is a box set on DVD of all 5 Daniel Craig films. So, it's up to you, obviously. But if I were you, I'd do that. So then at least you've got all 5 with you. But I don't know what your budget is. But I hope you enjoy the movies. Good luck. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Fan Full Stick? The Amazing Spider-Man 2. because at the very least, Andrew Garfield is a good actor. The actors in Fantastic are awful. Oh God. What's your favorite review you made? I don't know. I don't try not to look back on some of my reviews. I think in terms of my rants, Food Fight is one of my favorites that I did, and that got a really good reaction. And Jaws: The Revenge, when I talked about those, they were great. Well, people received them very well. In terms of like standard reviews, I don't really know. I'm not really that. I try not to be that sort of self-absorbed and judge my own work. You can tell me what you think my best review is, but I don't really think I can comment. Thank you. Which levels would you have for Lego Grease? God, that's a bizarre one for a Lego game. I guess it would just be whatever the songs would be. First one is like Grease is the word. How would you do Grease as a Lego game? That's quite out there. I think potentially just based on whatever the songs are. So your Grease is the word, and then you'd have a level for like the ballroom dance or whatever it is, like the gym dance or whatever. Grease Lightning, you're the one that I want. We go together, that kind of thing. I don't actually know if you could do it as a Lego game, but yeah, that's all I can think of. Top 3 favorite movie villains. Darth Vader, obviously. Ooh, that's a good question. Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter. Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. Really like them. I got to see Dead Man's Chest recently on the big screen. That was amazing. That was so good. The visual effects have aged like a fine wine. Wow. The no was very cringe. Yes. Sorry, George. You're not the best writer. No, when it comes to dialogue, you're a good plotter, but not a good writer for dialogue. Thoughts on Jumanji 1995? It's pretty good. It's the best of the Jumanji movies, I think. Out of the, is it 3? They've done 3 of them. But I haven't seen it for a long time. I ought to review it really because it's anniversary. They were showing it in the cinema, but I didn't get a chance to see it. Have you seen the new Smurfs movie? No, I haven't seen it. I won't watch it in the cinema. What's your favourite complication? I think you mean compilation that Jared made. He's done a lot of compilations of Alex. Probably the one of him. Probably the one of the one where he had like Alex crying or something in the shower. That one. How would you change or improve Never Say Never Again to become an Eon production Bond film? I would have chosen a different story for the first thing, not remake Thunderball. Cast a younger actor as Bond. Do stunts that don't involve harming animals, just as a start. Favorite fish and chips, haddock or cod? Probably cod. Cod and chips. Can never beat cod and chips. Amazing. Any really bad films you watch every now and then for a good laugh? Yeah. Every now and then, it's not really one that's considered like one of the worst ever, but a lot of people don't like X-Men 3. I do sometimes go back to it as a guilty pleasure. Very rarely. It's entertaining. It's not really good. I can understand why people don't like it, but I think it's okay. It's alright. Batman and Robin I've occasionally gone back to just to laugh at it, or if I'm drunk. Have you seen the trailer for Nolan's The Odyssey? Yeah, it looks, obviously it's just a teaser, but it looks pretty good. I will support anything Christopher Nolan does. I think he's a really good director. Do you prefer Skips or Pringles? Pringles. Which movie is better, Shrek 5 or Toy Story 5? I can't answer that. The movies aren't out yet. That's a silly question, my friend. Come on. Common sense, please. Favorite band? Don't really have. I'm not much of a music person, but I like listening to a few bands. Like Queen are great. AC/DC, obviously because of Iron Man. I watched Iron Man when I was younger. AC/DC. Linkin Park because of Transformers. So those are just a few, but I don't necessarily have a favourite band. Coldplay, I like Coldplay as well. Have you ever had annoying moviegoers in a cinema screening? Yes. When I went to see the first It film many years ago, I nearly in every other scene there were people laughing at most inappropriate points, and there was a guy in the screening that called attention to this. He was like, "Oh, I love your guys' laughs, by the way," and then they laughed at that as well. And I just thought, oh, I can't. Like, I went on my own because my friend bailed on me, and I couldn't enjoy the film as much because they were just laughing at everything, and it was hard to really invest in it. I did obviously review the film. I did really like the film, and I did review it. Um, and I've seen it since the cinema, and I've really enjoyed it. But that was a bit annoying. The only other time was Across the Spider-Verse. I had kids throwing things at me, which very rarely happens to me. I usually try to sit. I don't sit all the way at the back. I usually sit like front of the middle where there's like leg room. So then I'm not away from most of the people. I can just kind of be in my own space. Unless I'm with my friends, in which case we go wherever my friends want to go. So, yeah. Have you ever had any experience with the Bionicle franchise? I had some of the toys when I was younger, but beyond that, I don't remember. It's been a long time. If you could live on one Star Wars planet from the sequel trilogy, what would it be? I don't know really. What were the planets? Crate was pretty cool. The one with the red sand or whatever. That was kind of cool. Probably that one. Which Bond? Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, why does this always move my questions? Which Bond actor would you like to see starring Casino Royale instead of Craig, and in which decade would you like to see a movie to be made? Okay, so like out of the first five, I suppose Timothy Dalton, but then he wouldn't be great at the romantic stuff. Which decade would it like to be made in? Maybe the 80s, I guess, but then it wouldn't have been as serious. It probably would have been more cheesy. So I don't know. Who do you think should voice Amy in Sonic the Hedgehog 4? It's a good question. Oh, that is a good question. Let me think about it. I'm gonna just have a quick search. Sorry, my brain doesn't always work this time of day. I think potentially like Mila Kunis or Emily Blunt. They might be great choices. I know Emily Blunt is in the new film with Dwayne Johnson. I mean, she's done an American accent for a long time, so she would be great. Haribo or fruit pastels? Oh, Haribo. Do you think Star Wars is fucked now? No, I just think it needs a rest. I think they'll always be interested in it, but I think that if they want to do any more movies, they've just got to plan it a bit more. I think people's expectations are lower. I think Disney made a real mistake pumping that trilogy out, like pumping like one movie every year for 5 years. That just doesn't work, you know. Need we say more? But no, I'm convinced that it will probably. I think it will come back in some way. We have got another film coming, so hopefully they'll take care of it with this one. Do you remember that opening in your Empire Strikes Back review? I think so. There was the opening skit with Han and Leia in the bed. I think that's what it was, but it's a long time since I did that. Would you want to see the Lion King franchise as a Lego game? Possibly, as long as it didn't include the remakes, then that would be fine. Have you ever played Sonic Racing Cross Worlds? No, I haven't played that. Top 3 worst end credits Bond songs. If you ask me to, just because it doesn't fit with the movie. It's not a bad song, it just does not fit after License to Kill. The end credit song to GoldenEye, I don't know what the hell that was. And I don't know. What other ones? I can't think of a third one. Okay, this isn't like one of the worst songs, but I'm choosing this one because of the way that the film was edited. So on Her Majesty's Secret Service, at the very end, obviously we know that Tracy dies, and the sad music is playing, and then it sort of fades out, and then we hear the Bond theme starts playing. To me, that's inappropriate, and that's why that would be one of the worst places to use that theme. So that I would count that on the list based on that. Would Spectre be your favourite movie of 2015? No, actually. Inside Out is my favourite movie of 2015. But, nice guess. Do you hope John Wick fan can bring back his cringe-a-thons? Yes, I would love to see them come back. I was very... I was thankful to the guys that invited me onto that one, the one that I did appear on. It was a great laugh. It was great fun. Even if it was at Alex's expense. Maybe we went too far, but at the same time, Alex has gone too far as well. But I would love to see the Cringe-a-thons back, even just to watch or listen to the old ones. Favorite Johnny English scene? Oh god, there's so many. Any scene with John Malkovich is great. I love the scene in the third one where he's got the virtual reality goggles on, and he assaults the old lady with the baguettes. That's funny. Which movie is better, Food Fight or Norm of the North? I have not seen Norm of the North, so I can't answer that question. Who screams more annoying, Alex or Willie Scott from Temple of Doom? That is a fantastic question. Thank you. Oh god, that is a good question. Actually, they're both annoying. I'm gonna go with Alex. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with Alex. Will you watch James Cameron's first movie, Piranha 2? Yeah, I might watch it. Yeah, I think that's one of the few I haven't seen. I've not seen that one or True Lies. I've seen most of his other films, but those ones I need to watch. I know True Lies is on Disney Plus, so I'll catch up with his films at some point, especially as Fire and Ashes coming out. So, opinion on rejected GoldenEye song from Ace of Base. Not sure if I've heard it. If I have, I don't remember it. Sorry. I'll try and listen to it if I can. What's your least favourite film made every year this decade so far? Oh my god. Every year? Oh my god. That's. I don't think I can answer that. I'd need to spend time thinking about that. I can tell you my least favourite film of the year so far. I haven't seen War of the Worlds yet, but probably Until Dawn. The movie of Until Dawn is really bad. That's down there, but I don't know what else. I don't know other films there are in this decade that I would consider like the worst of every year. I'd have to look back at my my lists, to be honest. What's your biggest regret on YouTube? I don't know really. My biggest regret on YouTube is maybe not doing it sooner. I don't know, or maybe not finding my style until too late. Like I sort of started out not knowing what the hell I was doing. I kind of didn't maybe plan enough. Maybe that's what I could have done. I mean, I feel like I've got to a stage where my videos are decent and that are edited much better than they used to be. And that's through me learning my skills outside of YouTube. But I do this for fun. Like I'm not intending to make a career out of this. This is just a hobby for me. So I'm kind of got to a comfortable spot. But I think in those earlier years I was kind of winging it, and I feel like maybe I should have taken more time to edit my videos sooner. But eventually I decided to upgrade my style. So there might be a lot of old reviews that I will redo to re-edit them, or to have better quality videos. It's funny, I was looking back at some of my old sketches that I did, and the editing is bad, and quite a lot of them, but it was 10 years ago. I wasn't as experienced. Which of these movies do you think is funnier, Food Fight or Son of the Mask? None of them are funny. Neither, to be honest. What is your favorite James Bond action scene? Ooh, that's a good question. Um, I think one of my favorites has to be the Casino Royale chase in Madagascar when they go on the crane and he shoots up the embassy. That whole parkour sequence is breathtaking. That is where you start a Bond actor's era. So the new movie better have something on that scale to kick off the new guy's era. Have you ever been in YouTube dramas beside Alex? Yeah, I have. And sadly, I have lost some YouTube friends over the years. But it is what it is, you know. I accept my part of the blame where I can. But if these, you know, hopefully these people realize their faults too. But sometimes people drift apart. Sometimes it's better if people go their separate ways to avoid the drama. Favorite Ninja Turtles film so far? I haven't really seen many of them, to be honest. I can give you a rundown of what I think of this 2007 film, TMNT. It's okay. The writing is all over the place, but it's entertaining. It's passable enough, but it's nothing special. Whose apology is worse, Alex or Logan Paul's? Probably Alex. Most of the original members of the Cringeathons don't actually show up anymore. Oh, fair enough. At least William proves near the end. I respectfully disagree. I don't think there's any change in her character, really. To be honest, she's a pointless character. It's not the actress's fault. She's just a very badly written character. Are there any actors or actresses you would cast for certain Bond villains instead of the actors already cast? Possibly, yeah. I mean, Ricardo Montalban would be a great Bond villain. I would have potentially cast him. The thing is, they always cast quite well with the Bond villains. I feel like with maybe for the Living Daylights, I'd cast Ricardo Montalban maybe as Georgi Koskov, because I don't know what Jerome Krabe was doing, but it was a bit jovial. What's the most unnecessary sequel you've ever seen? Independence Day Resurgence was unnecessary. I don't know why they made another one of those. Aside that, Joker Folie à Deux. Joker Folie à Deux was terrible. That was completely unnecessary. If they did one in each Bond actor, in terms of if they each did one more movie, like Roger do an eighth. So you're asking me like what? How would they do if they each had an extra film? I don't think I can answer that question because that doesn't really make sense. You're asking me if like, what would I think if they each had an extra movie? Without seeing what they do, I can't really say. See, obviously with Craig, if he did a sixth, the ending of the fifth would have to dramatically change. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I don't get that. I kind of get what you're asking me, but I'm not really sure. So, if you don't mind, you can ask me personally, and I'll think about it. But I'm not sure what you mean. Sorry. Favorite rejected Bong song you wish it appeared in the movies? No Good About Goodbye. Should have been the Quantum of Solace theme song. Which of these movies are you most excited for? Well, based on your list, there actually probably Sonic 4, which is surprising because I don't like the first two movies, but the third I do quite like. Yeah, Frozen Wish Studios. I've lost a lot of respect for that guy. I'm sorry. I try and stay away from him, to be honest. Well, Alex is still around, but his mother is now in the know, so Alex is going to be less likely to be posting something nasty. Thanks to Ross Johnson. So Ross, thank you. You've helped us. Thank you, Ross. Favorite 80s fantasy movie? It's a good question. I quite like Labyrinth, actually. Labyrinth was fun. That was really fun. You know, dance, magic. That was good. Action scene from the Craig era that could have been improved. Um, hmm, Probably um, the opera scene in Quantum of Solace. They have this, like, it's edited so weirdly how everything goes kind of silent. I know it's supposed to be a juxtaposition, but it's just this stupid, pretentious edit. You can't see what's going on because the camera's shaking around, and then it cuts back to the opera, and then it cuts back to Craig, and it's just it's edited really badly. I do like Quantum of Solace in places, but that is one of the worst scenes in it. I have to be honest there. Favorite Toy Story movie? Toy Story 3 is actually my favorite. They had the balls to go dark, and it paid off. Oh wow, 1984 June was James Newton Howard's first ever score. Amazing. He's one of my favorite film composers, actually. What's up? My ceiling. No. Yeah, it's all good. Thanks, man. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, no, that's fine. Thank you for the questions, man, and see you soon. Do you know any films you've seen that were composed by two people? Well, Spider-Man 2 has Danny Elfman and Christopher Young composing, so there's not like an official release of the Spider-Man 2 score, which is a bit weird. Yeah, the Jaws sequels were unnecessary. Which movie do you find more funny? Food Fight or the Emoji Movie? I don't find either of them funny, to be honest. I don't know what to think of Jessie being the protagonist in Toy Story 5. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're really dragging their heels with this. They don't need it. They really don't need it, but whatever. Can you do an impression of Dalton as Roger's Bond in a scene where he's in bed with Mayday? I'll give it a go. Ah, Mayday, where have you been? I've been waiting for you to take care of me personally. I see you're a woman of very few words. What's there to say? Ruff, ruff. Which, as in, which ranking each Bond actor by how well you think they would do if at the time they did another film? I'm gonna have to leave that for another day. That's too much to think about right now. Ask me personally, and then I'll answer that for you. But I need to think about that. That's very hard for me to answer. Have you seen Shrek the Musical? I have seen it, actually. Yes, I actually auditioned for it. Not the Broadway or the West End. God no, just an amateur version. I'd love to play Shrek. It'd be an amazing role. But I saw the Broadway one on Netflix when it was streamed during lockdown, and then I saw an amateur group do it last year. Really good. It's actually, I think the music's actually surprisingly good. It's not a great show if you're in the background, if you're in like the ensemble, the chorus. There's not a lot to do, but if you're a main part, it's great. Oh yes, Jaws the Revenge. What's the film that, for you, least needed to become a franchise? Probably The Matrix. I think The Matrix was fine as one movie. Same with Night at the Museum. I think that didn't need to be a trilogy. I think the first one is the only good one. And Jaws. Yeah, Jaws did not need to be more than one film. Do you think Buzz was the main protagonist of Toy Story 2? No, he wasn't. He took on a bigger role. He had more of a leadership role, but Woody is the protagonist of the story. He's the one that goes on the emotional arc of the story. It's about his identity. You know, where does he belong? You know, that's the choice he is making throughout the film. Whereas you could argue Buzz is kind of a protagonist, but at the same time, I don't think he's like main protagonist. I feel like he's just a leadership role. That's what he's doing in the second one. I feel like he's more of a protagonist in the first film, actually, because he goes on a big emotional journey with the reveal of his identity. So kind of similar themes, really. Although Woody's arc in the second one is more about his belonging. Sorry, not his identity. His place of belonging. Where does he really belong? I recommend checking out Ridley Scott's Legend. I've seen Legend. Yeah, it's good. I think it's one of the earliest films of Tom Cruise as well. And yeah, the practical effects for the time were really good. Really good. I don't get the appeal for Tomorrow Never Dies. Yeah, me neither. I like you. I respect people if people like it. There's some good action scenes, but it's a bit gratuitous, and the story's it's a bit too stupid. You want broadcasting rights? Well, why don't you just negotiate rather than start World War III? Why can't you just negotiate with these people? You just want the media mogul thing, and just doesn't really work, to be honest. Brosnan he's fairly confident in the role, and the music's good, but yeah, there's nothing really special about Tomorrow Never Dies. But I still prefer it to Die Another Day. Inside Out or Up? I'm gonna say Inside Out is better, but I do really like Up. But Inside Out is my favorite Pixar film. So. Yeah, yeah, that death was bad, but also just the whole film was bad. It's on a technical level just one of the worst films ever made. But Michael Caine got his paycheck, so I'm happy for him, and that's all I'll say. Which film is funnier, Movie 43 or Meet the Spartans? I haven't seen Movie 43. Meet the Spartans was all right, I suppose. Nothing amazing. Yeah, I've seen Legend. I haven't reviewed it yet, but it's a good film. It's really well done for the time. It's very impressive. Yeah, Jerry Goldsmith, great composer. Yeah, there's an argument to be made that Roger could have left after Moonraker or For Your Eyes Only, but I think Octopussy would have been a good end for Roger because they matched him with someone who was closer to his age. They were starting to address his age a little bit, even though in View to a Kill they try and give him a facelift. But yeah, I think potentially Roger could have bowed out sooner. But off camera, such a lovely man. He seems like such a lovely man, and all the charity work he did. I'll never not have respect for Roger Moore. Who do you think should voice Amy Rose? I've already answered that. In terms of Metal Sonic, I don't know. I think you could actually have Ben Schwartz, the original, well, the actor who's voicing Sonic in the movies, but they could do some modulation with his voice, or Matthew Wood, who voices General Grievous in Star Wars. You could have him do a voice. Jaws the Revenge is your favourite out of the four. Well, good for you, but it's not mine. You might be the lone voice in that, but I totally respect your opinion. Excuse me. Michael Caine's role was Michael Caine. I mean, even he doesn't like it, but he needed the money. So at this point, actors they got to know where they got to do some crap movies. Sometimes, part of being an actor is doing the bad stuff. Oh, you mean like age ratings? Well, I'm in a different country to you. So in the UK, we have U, which is the lowest, PG, then we have 12/12A, then 15, then 18. That's what we have. Yeah, Planet of the Apes is G. That's I wouldn't rate it that. I'd rate it at least a PG. The Borderlands movie I've not seen. I've heard it's really bad. So I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, Jaws 2 was okay. Nothing to write home about, but it was the only sequel I would ever watch again of Jaws is Jaws 2. It was just all right. Oh yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I saw the second one in the cinema recently. I was lucky enough to see that. But the first three, great. Yeah, I need to redo my reviews because my thoughts have changed on some of the movies. Like the last two. Like I think, yeah, now the fifth one is my least favorite. It's just tired. It's very tired. It's not a bad film. Like it's enjoyable, but it's just tired. It's more of the same, and they're kind of struggling with ideas. On Stranger Tides is decent, but again, it's starting to tire. But there were some more effective scenes in that movie, and the villain was quite good. So, but the original trilogy for me is where it's at. Despite the fact that the third film gets a little bit overlong and convoluted in places, but I still really like the Gore Verbinski trilogy. Favorite cameo appearance in the Bond franchise? Gerard Butler appeared in No Time to Die. Sorry, not No Time to Die. Tomorrow Never Dies. I don't know. I like Judi Dench's cameo in Spectre. That's a good one. In terms of other cameos, I don't know what other ones there are. I need to think back to that. So probably, yeah, Gerard Butler for now. Yeah. Well, all of Michael G. Wilson's cameos. He cameos in No Time to Die as some kind of Spectre agent at Blofeld's birthday party. Which composer would you most wish would compose a film of yours when you one day do a legit theatrical feature? Well, I've done a feature. It's not like a Hollywood feature, but it's a low budget feature. I'm working on another one at the moment with a composer. But if I could ever work with any composers, well, obviously I find it hard to say just one. John Williams is the obvious choice, but he's getting old now. I would probably say either Michael Giacchino or James Newton Howard. They are phenomenal, or Howard Shore because of the Lord of the Rings. So yeah, there's so many great composers. I will do a ranking of film composers one day. Who I think are like the best and my favorites, my top 10. Yeah, I'll do that sometime. That'd be great. And John Barry would obviously be on the list as well. What would you say has been the worst movie of the year so far? I mean, I did talk about this earlier, Until Dawn, but I haven't seen War of the Worlds yet, so that's on my list to do, so don't worry. Jaws 3 is bad as well, yeah. I still think it's slightly better than 4, but it's not much of a compliment. Yeah, John Williams' score is great in all of the Jaws movies, but the movies as they go on just get ridiculous. Like, in the first film, it worked so effectively, the way they sort of built the suspense of it. I've rewatched Jaws recently, the first one, in cinema for its anniversary. They screened it at my cinema. And yeah, that music really is incredible. The way it amps up the tension. They made the best out of a bad situation by having the issues with the actual shark itself, forcing them not to use it as much. It was fate. It was fate that forced Spielberg to completely change the script and the direction of the movie. And it benefited them. It made out to be a more smarter direction for the film. I've seen the Gremlins films. Yeah, they're okay. They're fun for what they are. I've not seen the other ones you mentioned. Obviously, I've seen Looney Tunes back in action. Have you seen the movie Furry Vengeance? Ooh, actually, have I? I think I. No, I haven't seen it. No. Do you think Avengers Doomsday will be good? Yeah, I think it will be good. I don't know if it will be as good, as sensational as Endgame or Infinity War, but there's a lot of people in it, and I'm a bit concerned that it's going to be overstuffed with characters just for fan service. But as long as the story is good, I'm willing to give it a chance, and I think it will. I think it will be entertaining. So we'll see how it goes. Daniel Craig voiced Finn McMissile in Cars 2. Yeah, that would have been fun. Don Davis is a great composer. Yeah, I'm not sure what he has composed. I'm so sorry. Yeah, the screen projection stuff in the earlier Bond films can be jarring. It's particularly jarring in Doctor No. I watched the film in 4K recently, and it is. It's unfortunate, but then again, the limitations of the time. It doesn't bother me so much now because I've seen the movies and I know that it's there, and I know it's a product of its time. But as a first-time viewer, I was like, "What the hell?" Like, yeah. And if you watch it in high quality, it's more noticeable. On a DVD or video, it's not going to be as noticeable. Steve Jablonsky, yep, good choice, very good choice. Hans Zimmer, of course. James Horner, yes, rest in peace, James Horner. Very good composer. Composed Avatar. Now Simon Franklin is continuing James Horner's work, which is great. Have you seen the movie Meet the Spartans? I think I did see it many years ago, but I don't remember it. You say you'll do 1984 interest to give a watch is a bit increased to at least check out the score. Yeah, possibly, yeah. Favorite James Newton Howard soundtrack? I knew that was going to come. I knew that question was going to come. Oh god, there's a lot to choose from. I really love his Peter Pan score from the 2003 Peter Pan movie. Toss up between that or the King Kong remake from 2005, which is a very surprisingly emotive score. Very beautifully done and very epic as well. So I think it's a tie between Peter Pan and King Kong, I would say. Funniest scene in the movie, food fight. There isn't one. Which is the oldest movie you have seen that you feel ages like a fine wine? Ooh. Okay, oldest movie I've seen. Oh god. Thinking back to... Well, it's hard to say because a lot of old films... I don't know if there's many that have aged like a fine wine. Okay, I've got one. The Wizard of Oz has aged very well. To me, whenever I saw that film, it didn't strike me as a film from the 1930s. Obviously, the audio quality is quite old, but visually it's pretty stunning. And the designs of Emerald City and everything look really cool. And some of that has made its way into Wicked as well, which is phenomenal. So I'll go with The Wizard of Oz. I think that's aged rather well. And even in higher quality, you think, wow, okay, this looks pretty neat. It looks as though it could have been shot recently. So there we are. Michael Caine is going. Well, yeah. Let's not talk like that. You know, Michael Caine he's going to enjoy his retirement. Let's have him enjoy his retirement. He's in good health, from what I know, but everybody does unfortunately pass eventually. Oh, I hope you enjoyed the Jaws re-release too. Most underrated sequence from the Bond series. Oh god, from the first 5 actors. Most underrated sequence. That doesn't necessarily mean action sequence. I think... Okay. If we're talking action sequences, the tanker chase from License to Kill is very underrated. I think that's one of the best climaxes to a Bond movie. In terms of sequence, just like a scene that is underrated, that is a difficult one. I'm going to say another Timothy Dalton one is the Pushkin interrogation scene with John Rhys Davies. That is brilliant. That's a great demonstration of Timothy Dalton as Bond and his character and his how ruthless he is, and the music there is phenomenal. Oh, of course, how could I forget Disney's Dinosaur? Okay, I'm gonna have to go back to that earlier question. The best James Newton Howard score. Okay, my top three James Newton Howard scores are Peter Pan, King Kong, and Dinosaur. I think Dinosaur might just have to take the cake as the best one because of that amazing theme. It's brilliant. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. It should have won an Oscar. It really should have. Thank you for reminding me about that because I totally forgot. Movies you most wish were never remade. The old Disney films, but sadly, we've crossed that bridge. We're going to need a bigger boat. We certainly are. There isn't a funny scene in the Emoji Movie. I'm sorry. There isn't one. Jaws was the oldest released movie I saw. Oh, nice. Yeah, they do sometimes re-release older films. I think The Sound of Music is even being like re-released possibly this week for me in the cinemas, but I won't get to see it. But it's a long film as well. It's 1960s. They re-released all the Bond movies about 3 years ago when they had the 60th anniversary, which was fun. The first Planet of the Apes, yes, actually, on a technical level, yes, that has held up really well. Politically, it might be dated, but I think out of the original 5 films, it's easily the best. Yeah, the makeup is the one consistent thing, as well as Roddy McDowall. The makeup is the one consistent thing about that series that is honestly incredible. I mean, I love the new ones more. I think the new ones tell a better story. And obviously the motion performance capture is incredible, but there's no denying that the original makeup is spectacular. Is there a Bond film you wish people could pay more attention to? We'll talk about it more if you wish. I don't know really. I feel like Spectre gets crapped on quite a bit. It's not that bad. I mean, I get why people don't like the Brofeld plot, but there are other good things about it, and I feel like people are a bit harsh on it. Because Skyfall came before Spectre, it was clear that Spectre was going to suffer because of that, but whatever. Have you seen The Water Horse? Do you mean the film? I've seen the film. It's good. I don't think it's an incredible film. It's not. It tries a bit too hard to be a masterpiece, but it is a good film. I don't remember the score for that film. I'd love to see the show, actually. I'm waiting to see if I can see the show because of the puppetry used. It looks incredible for that reason. Okay. You love asking me similar questions, Zane. Neither. I don't want to watch neither of them. The Fugitive because of James Newton Howard. Yeah, I'm willing to give it a shot. I don't know what it's about, but if James Newton Howard is scoring it, then that's great. And if Harrison Ford is in it, I'm up for that. Favorite song from The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. Probably Not One of Us. The one when Kovu is banished. That one is very powerful. Can you do an impression of Dalton having a conversation with J.W. Pepper prior to doing a stunt on a broken bridge? I could try. You're not gonna. I sure am, boy. That's all I can remember from that scene. I've never met Wallace Shawn. No. What would you have done with Beneath the Planet of the Apes? I would have continued more of the political drama that we had in the first one, because it felt like Beneath the Planet of the Apes went more action based, and then it got very strange with the whole underground cult worshipping the bomb, like Judgment Day, all of that stuff. It started to go quite religious, like all the apocalypse is here and all of that kind of thing. It was very melodramatic. I didn't mind so much the Earth blowing up. I thought that was kind of cool. It sort of segued into the next installment quite nicely. But it's some of the weird mind control stuff I would get rid of. Like when Brent is possessed, and then him and Taylor have a fight because they're possessed. It's a little unnecessary, and same with the whole part when he kisses Nova. It's a bit pointless, really. Beneath the Planet of the Apes is a strange one. I was talking to my cousin about Planet of the Apes a while ago, and he said it's his least favourite one because it's just so bad and so strange. I personally think it's better than Battle for the Planet of the Apes and better than Conquest, but God, it is strange. It's very weird. It gets wacky, but I still think it's entertaining. But it definitely could be changed at some points. Oh, Lady and the Tramp. Oh, nice. The animation. Yeah, it's a cute film. Hello, Jared. How are you? Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for watching and go Poppy. Do you prefer to believe the original 5 Planet of the Apes films are a time loop, or the time travel in Escape led to a different timeline? That's a very good question, and thankfully I can answer that for you. Sorry about earlier. I've always believed that the first 5 movies are one timeline, and it kind of loops around because the 5th movie, even though, well, it doesn't tie in very well, but the 5th movie ends with the statue of Caesar cementing, because they talk in the first film about Caesar, the one who established their empire or their society. So I believe that the journey of the 5 movies was meant to be a time loop, but as the films went on, they got really bad. So it didn't. It was a mess of the way it was tied in together. But I believe that was the intention. But don't quote me on that. But I believe that the new films are, well, the new trilogy I believe to be a reboot, and then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is like, it's not really a legacy sequel, but it's set it's set many years after War for the Planet of the Apes, but it still incorporates some of Caesar's legacy. So I don't know if this new trilogy, and maybe the one after that, is gonna slowly build up to Taylor and the original Planet of the Apes, and maybe they're gonna ditch this whole time loop thing. I think it would be better for the new films to not connect to the old films, personally. But whatever, we'll see what happens. What is your favourite Wallace Shawn role? I haven't really seen him in anything else other than Toy Story or The Incredibles. Probably Toy Story. Oh yes, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed your convention. Yeah, I hope you met some nice people and got what you wanted out of it. Do you find it funny when Wallace Shawn said inconceivable? I've never heard him say it, to be honest. How did you and Harry meet? Well, obviously we met on YouTube first, but over the last few years, Harry had, due to personal reasons, had moved to a different home, and that home was a little bit closer to where I live, and I could travel to see him. It's still a long journey, but I could still travel and visit him. So about 4 years ago, 4 years ago, we actually met in person for the first time, which was great. And we still occasionally meet sometimes to go to the cinema. I have to travel up to him because it's easier that way. But no, it's lovely to meet him. He's just as lovely in person as he is online. So, yeah. Well, my genuine wish for the 2001 film is that it never happened. I wish it never happened. But if it was a better film, yeah, it could have been nice. Because especially as Charlton Heston was in it, that could have been a nice sort of... I know Taylor dies in the second film, but there could have been a nice bit of continuity there. Maybe like Taylor's had a son or something, or I don't know. They could have found a way to... not retcon Battle for the Planet of the Apes, but they could have found a way to tie it together much better than how the 5th one ended. But yeah, no, the Tim Burton one was such a mess. Such a mess. But no, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes was the best thing to ever happen to that franchise. Just in terms of starting again, they couldn't have started it any better. Amazing film. Wallace Shawn was in The Incredibles. Yes, I know. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I would like. I've not seen The Princess Bride. Sorry, Jared. I would like to have seen James Cameron's Planet of the Apes idea. Yeah, I don't know if Arnold Schwarzenegger would be great as Taylor, but yeah, that could very well be a good idea. Right, I'll give it another 5-10 minutes, and then I think I'm going to head, because it's nearly 9 o'clock, so got a lot of things to do. So, last chance for any more questions. Excuse me. Got a blocked up nose. If Rise and Kingdom were prequels to the original films, the first 5 are done better. And again, 2001 film would be the chronological 6th. Yeah, I think at this point we have to just ignore the Tim Burton film. It's a parallel universe film in of itself, but yeah, I mean, I would love to think that they could find a way to tie them together, but the Star Wars sequel trilogy is anything to go by. Without proper planning, you're not going to get very far. But I think the new Planet of the Apes films so far have been on a very good streak. Even though Kingdom is the weakest of the 4 new ones, I still think it's solid. And there is the suggestion at the end of Kingdom that they are able to contact forces that are in space. So that could very well be preluding Taylor in the original film. But I don't want it to get convoluted. I think it might be, we'll see where it goes. But if they do lead up to the first film from '68, then they should stop there. Once they tie it into that first film and prelude it, then stop. Or just reference it. Just like have a callback to it. Don't necessarily tie into it. I kind of like the new films being a self-contained timeline. But we'll see what happens. Arnold did Taylor's lines. Yeah. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! That's the most iconic line, and I could imagine Arnold doing that, but it would be kind of funny. Would you imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger voicing Mr. Incredible? It's showtime! Yeah, I don't think it would quite work, but yeah. Thoughts on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming out? Well, obviously I haven't seen the movie because it's not out yet. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I will watch it, but I'm not actually that big a fan of the Mandalorian show. I watched the first season, it was fine, it was good, but I think it's a bit overrated, to be honest. A lot of the episodes feel quite repetitive, but I might see the film as it's going to be on the big screen, and I like Star Wars, so we'll give it a shot. Caesar quotes with Arnold's voice. Yeah, that would be funny. Imagine, the line in War that he says that they call you donkey, you are ape. They call you donkey, you are ape. You've already asked me that question. For goodness sake. Right. So I want to hear Arnold say, "No, apes do not want war. You are not ape." Yeah. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape. No! Apes do not want war. You are not ape. That's the only way there's no great Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. That's all I can do. What is your opinion on Shrek 5? I've already been asked this. It's not out yet. Can't say, but the trailer is very bad, in my opinion. Right. I think I'm going to leave it there. But thank you very much, guys. Thank you for all the questions. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Please comment down below. And thank you all very much. And I'll see you in a month's time when I do the next Q&A, or maybe sooner, depending on the dates. But yeah, there will be an October Q&A coming your way very soon. Thank you very much, everybody. As always, I'm Pajax Perspective. See ya. Bye for now.